Before we dive into one of the darkest stories I've ever had to tell, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This story will challenge everything you think you know about survival, loyalty, and what it takes to stay human in the most inhuman place on earth. And if you make it to the end, you'll understand why some silences are more powerful than screams. Let's get into it. How much are you willing to lose to protect someone you've never met? Cell Block D at Riverside Women's Correctional Facility was never quiet. Even at 3 in the morning, the sounds echoed through the concrete halls like a symphony of suffering. Metal doors slamming. Women crying. Guards' boots clicking in rhythmic patrol. The hum of fluorescent lights that never turned off. But on the morning of August 14th, something was different. The silence was so heavy, you could taste it. Maya Rodriguez had been awake since 2:47 a.m., staring at the rust stains on her cell ceiling. Her cellmate, a 19-year-old girl named Tasha, was curled up on the bottom bunk, pretending to sleep. But Maya could hear her breathing. Fast. Shallow. Terrified. Tasha had made a mistake. A big one. And in prison, mistakes don't just cost you. They destroy you. Maya was 34 years old, serving year 7 of a 15-year sentence for armed robbery. She'd been a different person when she arrived. Hopeful. Naive. Believing she could do her time quietly and get back to her daughter, Sophia, who was 6 years old when Maya went away. Sophia would be 13 now. Maya hadn't seen her in 4 years. Not since her ex-husband stopped bringing her to visitation. Not since he moved across the country and changed his number. Not since the letters stopped coming. Prison doesn't just take your freedom. It takes your future, piece by piece, until you forget what hope feels like. Have you ever lost someone while being powerless to stop it? Have you ever felt your heart break in slow motion? That morning, Maya sat up and lowered herself from the top bunk. Her feet touched the cold concrete floor, and she looked at Tasha's trembling form. "You need to eat breakfast today," Maya said quietly. "If you don't show up in the cafeteria, they'll know something's wrong." Tasha didn't respond. "Tasha, look at me." The girl turned over, her face pale and streaked with dried tears. She was young. Too young for this place. She'd been sentenced to 3 years for drug possession, her first offense, and she'd been inside Riverside for only 8 months. 8 months. And she'd already broken the most important rule. Never. Ever. Snitch. "They're going to kill me," Tasha whispered. "Maya, they're going to kill me, and no one's going to stop them." Was she right? In a place where the guards looked the other way and violence was currency, was there any hope for someone marked for death? Maya crouched down beside the bunk, her voice low. "Listen to me. You stay close to me today. You don't talk to anyone. You don't make eye contact. You eat fast, and we get back to the cell. Understand?" "What's the point?" Tasha's voice cracked. "You can't protect me forever. Nobody can." She was right. But Maya didn't say that. "One day at a time," Maya said. "That's how we survive here." But deep down, Maya knew the truth. Tasha had testified against another inmate, a woman named Simone Cross, who ran Cell Block D like a queen running a kingdom. Simone controlled the contraband, the protection rackets, the respect. And Tasha had broken her. Simone was in isolation now, awaiting trial for a stabbing. But her crew was still inside. And they were waiting. When do you draw the line between self-preservation and protecting someone who can't protect themselves? The morning bell rang at 6 a.m., sharp and metallic, cutting through the tension. Maya and Tasha filed out of their cell into the corridor, joining the slow shuffle of women heading toward the cafeteria. The cafeteria at Riverside was a war zone disguised as a dining hall. Long metal tables bolted to the floor. Plastic trays. Food that barely qualified as edible. And everywhere, eyes. Watching. Calculating. Judging. Maya kept Tasha close, positioning herself between the girl and the rest of the room. They got their trays, watery oatmeal, a bruised apple, lukewarm coffee, and found a table near the back. That's when Maya saw her. Vanessa Cole. 6 feet tall. Broad shoulders. A scar running from her left eyebrow to her jawline. Vanessa was Simone's second-in-command, and now, with Simone locked in isolation, she was running the show. Vanessa was sitting 3 tables away, surrounded by 5 other women. All of them were staring at Tasha. "Don't look at them," Maya whispered. "Eat." But Tasha's hands were shaking too much to hold the spoon. Vanessa stood up. The cafeteria seemed to hold its breath. She walked slowly, deliberately, across the room. Her boots made no sound on the concrete, but every step felt like thunder. She stopped directly behind Tasha. "Little bird," Vanessa said softly. "You look pale. You feeling okay?" Tasha said nothing. Vanessa leaned down, her mouth inches from Tasha's ear. "Simone asked me to give you a message. She says, you should watch your back. What do you do when you're face to face with someone who has nothing to lose and everything to gain from your silence?" Maya's pulse pounded in her ears. She'd been in prison long enough to know what came next. Vanessa was testing them. Seeing if they'd react. Seeing if they'd run. Running would only make it worse. "We're just trying to eat," Maya said calmly, her voice steady. "We're not looking for trouble." Vanessa straightened up, her eyes locking onto Maya's. "You sure about that, Rodriguez? Because it looks to me like you're protecting a rat." The word hung in the air like poison. Rat. Snitch. The worst thing you could be called in prison. "She's my cellmate," Maya said. "That's all." Vanessa smiled. It was the kind of smile that made your blood run cold. "For now," Vanessa said. Then she walked away, her crew following behind her like shadows. Tasha finally let out a breath she'd been holding. "I'm dead. I'm dead, Maya." "Not today," Maya said. But even she wasn't sure she believed it. After breakfast, they returned to their cell. The guards locked them in for count, and for a brief moment, there was safety in confinement. But prisons don't offer safety. They only offer the illusion of it. Maya lay on her bunk, staring at the ceiling again. She thought about Sophia. About the last time she'd held her daughter's hand. About the way Sophia used to laugh at bedtime stories. Did Sophia even remember her anymore? "Maya?" Tasha's voice was small. "Why are you helping me?" Maya closed her eyes. "Because someone helped me once. When I first got here." "What happened to them?" "She got out," Maya lied. The truth was, the woman who'd helped Maya, a lifer named Carla Diaz, had been found dead in the showers 3 years ago. Officially, it was ruled a suicide. But everyone knew the truth. Carla had protected the wrong person. Is compassion a strength or a weakness when survival is the only rule that matters? That afternoon, Maya was called to the warden's office. Warden Patricia Frost was a woman in her 50s, with silver hair pulled into a tight bun and eyes that had seen too much. She'd been running Riverside for 12 years, and she had a reputation for being tough but fair. But fair didn't mean kind. "Sit down, Rodriguez," Frost said, gesturing to the chair across from her desk. Maya sat, her hands folded in her lap. Frost leaned back, studying her. "I'm hearing rumors about your cellmate, Tasha Williams." Maya kept her face neutral. "What kind of rumors?" "The kind that get people hurt," Frost said. "Or killed." "I don't know what you're talking about." Frost sighed. "Listen to me, Rodriguez. You've been a model inmate. You keep your head down. You follow the rules. You don't cause trouble. But if you get mixed up in whatever's happening with Tasha Williams, that changes." "She's just a kid," Maya said quietly. "She's an inmate," Frost corrected. "And inmates who cooperate with law enforcement make enemies. You know that. So what are you saying? You're just going to let them kill her?" Frost's expression hardened. "I'm saying that I can't protect her if she's not willing to go into protective custody. And she's refused. Multiple times." Maya frowned. Why would she refuse? Because protective custody means solitary. 23 hours a day in a cell, alone. No commissary. No recreation. No human contact. For some people, that's worse than death. Is isolation protection or punishment? Where's the line? Maya left the warden's office with more questions than answers. She found Tasha in the prison yard during rec time, sitting alone on a bench near the fence. The yard was the closest thing to freedom Riverside offered. A patch of cracked concrete surrounded by 20-foot fences topped with razor wire. Women lifted weights, played basketball, smoked cigarettes they traded for favors. Maya sat down beside Tasha. "Warden says you refused protective custody." Tasha stared at the ground. "I can't do it, Maya. I can't be locked in a box for months. I'll lose my mind." You'll lose your life if you stay in general population. Maybe that's better, Tasha whispered. Maya grabbed Tasha's arm, forcing the girl to look at her. Don't you dare say that. Don't you dare give up. Why not? Tasha's eyes filled with tears. I don't have anybody. My mom's dead. My dad's in prison. I've got nobody waiting for me on the outside. What's the point? Have you ever felt so alone that even survival seems pointless? Maya's chest tightened. She saw herself in Tasha. The same despair. The same hopelessness. The point, Maya said firmly, is that you're 19 years old. You've got your whole life ahead of you. You serve your time, you get out, and you get to start over. Don't let these people take that from you. Tasha wiped her eyes. They already have. That night, Maya couldn't sleep. She lay awake, listening to Tasha's quiet sobs from the bunk below. What would you do if you had to choose between saving someone and saving yourself? At 2 a.m., Maya made a decision. She climbed down from her bunk and gently shook Tasha awake. Get up, Maya whispered. We need to talk. They sat together on the floor, their backs against the cold concrete wall. I'm going to tell you a story, Maya said. And you're going to listen. Tasha nodded. When I first got here, Maya began, I thought I was tough. I thought I could handle it. But on my third day, a woman tried to take my commissary. I fought back. And I won. But that night, 3 of her friends jumped me in the showers. They broke 2 of my ribs and told me if I reported it, they'd kill me. Tasha's eyes widened. I didn't report it, Maya continued. But I also didn't know how to survive. That's when Carla found me. She was a lifer. Been inside for 20 years. She taught me the rules. How to walk. How to talk. Who to avoid. Who to respect. She kept me alive. What happened to her? Maya's voice dropped. She protected someone who didn't deserve it. And it got her killed. The silence stretched between them. So why are you protecting me? Tasha asked. Because you do deserve it, Maya said. You made a mistake, but you're not a bad person. And I'm not going to let them turn you into another statistic. Tasha started to cry again, but this time, they were different tears. Relief. Gratitude. What do I do? Tasha asked. You trust me, Maya said. The next morning, Maya requested a meeting with Warden Frost. I need a favor, Maya said. Frost raised an eyebrow. I don't do favors, Rodriguez. Then call it a trade, Maya said. I'll give you information on contraband coming into cell block D. In exchange, you move Tasha Williams to a different cell block. Quietly. No announcement. Frost leaned forward. What kind of contraband? Drugs. Cell phones. Weapons. All of it run by Vanessa Cole. And how do you know this? Because I've been watching, Maya said. And I know where she hides it. Frost studied her for a long moment. If you're lying to me, Rodriguez, you'll spend the rest of your sentence in segregation. I'm not lying, Maya said. Can you betray one group to save one person? Where does loyalty end and survival begin? That afternoon, guards conducted a surprise raid on cell block D. They found everything Maya had told them about. Pills hidden inside hollowed-out books. Phones stashed in air vents. A sharpened toothbrush wrapped in cloth, tucked behind a loose tile in the shower. Vanessa and 3 other women were taken to segregation. But Maya knew the victory was temporary. Vanessa had allies. And word would spread that someone had talked. That night, Tasha was moved to cell block A under the guise of overcrowding. No one knew Maya had arranged it. But Maya stayed in cell block D. Alone. 3 days later, Maya was cornered in the laundry room. 4 women. No guards in sight. You think we don't know what you did? One of them hissed. Maya didn't run. She'd learned a long time ago that running only delayed the inevitable. I don't know what you're talking about, Maya said calmly. You snitched on Vanessa. Vanessa got sloppy, Maya said. That's not my problem. The tallest woman stepped closer. It's about to be. They came at her all at once. Maya fought back. She'd learned how to fight in prison. Not with rage, but with precision. She landed punches where they counted. She protected her head. She stayed on her feet. But 4 against 1 was impossible. They beat her until she couldn't stand. until her vision blurred, until the taste of blood filled her mouth. And then, just as suddenly as it started, it stopped. A voice echoed through the laundry room. "That's enough." Maya looked up through swollen eyes. It was Officer Grace Hernandez, one of the few guards at Riverside who still treated inmates like human beings. The four women scattered. Grace knelt beside Maya, her face grim. "Medical. Now." Maya spent 2 days in the infirmary. Bruised ribs. A black eye. Split lip. But nothing broken. Nothing permanent. When she returned to her cell, she found a note slipped under her pillow. It was from Tasha. "Thank you for saving my life. I'll never forget what you did." Maya folded the note and tucked it under her mattress. She'd lost her safety, her standing, her protection. But she'd saved a life. Was it worth it? 6 months passed. Maya kept her head down. She avoided confrontation. She counted the days. And then, one morning during mail call, she heard her name. "Rodriguez. Package." Maya's heart stuttered. She hadn't received mail in years. She opened the package in her cell, her hands trembling. Inside was a photograph. It was Sophia. Her daughter. 13 years old now. Smiling. Healthy. Beautiful. And underneath the photo, a letter. "Dear Mom, Dad finally told me where you are. I know you're in prison. I know you made mistakes. But I also know you're my mom, and I miss you. I want to come visit you. I want to hear your voice. I want to know you again. Please write back. Love, Sophia." Maya's vision blurred with tears. She read the letter 3 times. 4. 5. And for the first time in years, she felt something she'd forgotten existed. Hope. That afternoon, Maya wrote back. She told Sophia about the mistakes she'd made. The choices that had led her here. The pain of being separated from her. But she also told her about the woman she'd become. About learning to survive. About protecting people who couldn't protect themselves. About finding strength in the darkest places. She told her daughter the truth. And she promised that when she got out, she would spend every day making up for the time they'd lost. 2 years later, Maya Rodriguez was released from Riverside Women's Correctional Facility. She walked out into the sunlight, carrying a plastic bag with her few belongings. And standing at the gate, waiting for her, was Sophia. 15 years old now. Taller. Stronger. They held each other and cried. "I'm sorry," Maya whispered. "I'm so sorry." "You're here now," Sophia said. "That's all that matters." But the story doesn't end there. Because 3 months after Maya's release, she received a phone call. It was Tasha. "Maya? It's me. I got out last week." Maya smiled. "How are you?" "I'm okay. I'm scared, but I'm okay." "And Maya?" "I'm going to college. I got accepted to community college. I'm going to study social work. I want to help people like us." "That's amazing, Tasha." "I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you," Tasha said. "You saved my life. And now I want to spend my life saving others." Can one act of courage create a ripple effect that changes multiple lives forever? Maya hung up the phone and looked at Sophia, who was doing homework at the kitchen table of their small apartment. "Who was that?" Sophia asked. "Someone I helped a long time ago," Maya said. "Did it work out?" Maya smiled. "Yeah, it did." That night, Maya couldn't sleep. She thought about everything she'd been through. The violence. The fear. The isolation. But she also thought about the choices she'd made. To protect instead of ignore. To risk instead of hide. To stay human in a place designed to strip away humanity. And she realized something. Prison had taken years from her life. It had separated her from her daughter. It had scarred her in ways that would never fully heal. But it had also taught her the most important lesson of all. That even in the darkest places, even when the world tells you to look away, you can choose to be the light. You can choose to protect the vulnerable. You can choose to fight for what's right, even when it costs you everything. And sometimes, that choice is the only thing that keeps you human. 5 years after her release, Maya started a non-profit organization called Second Chances. She worked with formerly incarcerated women, helping them reintegrate into society. She fought for prison reform. She testified before Congress about the conditions inside women's correctional facilities. And she never forgot the women she'd left behind. Every month, she visited Riverside. She talked to inmates. She listened to their stories. She gave them hope. Because hope was the one thing prison couldn't take away. Not if you refused to let it go. Sophia graduated high school with honors and was accepted to university to study criminal justice. "I want to change the system," she told Maya. "I want to make sure what happened to you doesn't happen to other families." Maya held her daughter close. "I'm so proud of you." "I learned from the best," Sophia said. On the 10th anniversary of Maya's release, she received an invitation. It was from Tasha, who was now a licensed social worker running a program for at-risk youth. The invitation was for an award ceremony. Tasha was receiving a community service award for her work. And she'd requested that Maya present it to her. Maya stood on that stage, looking out at the crowd, and she told their story. She talked about the darkness, the fear, the impossible choices. But she also talked about the light, the hope, the power of one person choosing to care when everyone else looked away. Tasha Williams is alive today because she refused to give up, Maya said. But also because people chose to see her as a human being, not a case number. Not a statistic. A person. She locked eyes with Tasha, who was crying in the front row. And that choice changed everything. The audience rose in a standing ovation. After the ceremony, Tasha hugged Maya tightly. "Thank you," she whispered. "For everything. You did the hard part," Maya said. "You survived. You rebuilt. You thrived." "We both did," Tasha said. And they had. Because that's the real story. Not the violence. Not the fear. Not the system that breaks people instead of healing them. The real story is about the humans who refuse to break. The ones who choose compassion in places designed to destroy it. The ones who protect the vulnerable when everyone else looks away. The ones who survive and then turn around to help others do the same. That's the story. That's the legacy. That's what it means to stay human when the world tries to strip your humanity away. So here's my question for you. If you were in Maya's position, would you have protected Tasha? Would you have risked everything to save someone you barely knew? Or would you have looked away, protecting yourself instead? Leave your answer in the comments. And if this story made you think differently about the people behind bars, share it. Because every person in prison is someone's daughter, someone's mother, someone's sister. And every one of them deserves to be seen as human. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more stories that matter, and remember, compassion isn't weakness. It's the strongest thing you can choose. Stay strong. Stay human. And I'll see you in the next one. Video production details. 1. Estimated video duration. 35 to 40 minutes. This story is structured for extended watch time with multiple emotional peaks, character development, and a satisfying resolution that rewards viewers who stay until the end.